Hey dear subscribers, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to see the summary of the image formation by convex lens and concave lens. So entire ray for ray diagrams reference, you can see my other lectures. This is just the summary in a tabular form as to what is the nature of the image, the size of the image, the position of the image for different position of the object. Let's get started with the lecture. Now, this is very important. We've learned the image formation by convex lens, right? We've seen the ray diagrams in the last lecture. Now, ray diagrams we have seen. Now, we're just summarizing the entire thing. See, convex lens is converging in nature. Whenever you have a mirror or a lens which is converging in nature, you are going to have six cases in that particular case. Right? So, there are six cases. Six cases means there are six different positions of the object. Okay, so six different position of the objects has to be seen, and for each position there is one respective position for the image as well. For that position, what is the nature and the size of the image, we have to see that also. Okay, so let us see one by one, but you should try and remember this kind of the cases in the sequence that I have discussed, so that it is very easy to remember. Why it is easy to remember? Because my sequence says that first the object was at infinity, then beyond 2f, then 2f, then between f to f, then focus, and then further close. So what we're doing is we are moving the object towards the lens. So that is one of the trick to remember. Then zones we have discussed in the last class. In the last class, I have also given you the tricks to remember the ray diagram. Learn that trick thoroughly, so there will be no mistake as to at what position of the object and what would be the position of the image at that particular position. If you learn last lecture thoroughly, you won't face that kind of problem. Okay. Now, first the object was at infinity. Now, when the object is at infinity, image is going to be at focus. Now, in whatever case, whether it be mirror, whether it be lens, whether it be converging, whether it be diverging, doesn't matter. Whenever the object is at infinity, image is going to be formed at focus only. Why I've written F2? Because convex lens is a lens which is formed by two spheres. So there are going to be two focuses and two center of curvature. Therefore, I've written F2. Since the image actually, the light rays actually meet in nature, therefore the image form is going to be real and inverted. Now, object was very, very far from the lens. In that case, so the image would be very, very small. So we say that it is highly diminished, nearly equal to point size of the object. Okay. Now we're bringing this further closer, so we're going to keep it beyond 2f. If the object is beyond 2f, image is between f2 and 2f2. Now can you see that now image is going farther from the lens. So as the object come closer, image goes far from the lens. Again, the light rays are going to be actually meeting in nature, therefore the image, the nature is going to be real inverted. Still the object is not that close to the lens that it can form a bigger or a magnified image. So still the image formed is diminished in nature. Now 2f, that this you should remember as a landmark or something, right? Whenever you have at 2f and the object is at 2f, what does that mean? When object 2f पे होगा तो image भी 2f. Now since the position of object and image is same, even if the position is same, size भी same होता है. So size of the image is same as that of the object, right? Again, since the light are actually meeting in nature, it's going to be real and inverted. Bringing the object further close to the lens. So now the object is going to be between f and 2f. If the object is between f and 2f, now the image is going to move farther away. So it is going to be beyond 2f. Light is actually meeting, again real inverted. Now this is the time. If you move the object farther from 2f towards the lens, the size of the image goes on increasing and increasing. So now the image would be magnified in nature. Okay. Now if the object is at focus, object focus but the image would be at infinity. This case is just the reversal of the first case. So there the object was at infinity and image was at focus. Now the object is at focus and the image is at infinity. Rest the nature of the image is going to be real and inverted only because the light rays are actually meeting in nature. But if we talk about the size, again it is just reversal of the first case. That case it was highly diminished, here it is going to be highly magnified. I hope this thing is very, very clear to you people, all these five cases. The sixth case is if we are bringing the object further closer, that is between optical center and focus. Now, the moment you bring it between optical center and focus, then what happened? The image is formed on the same side as that of the object. What is the position? It can be anywhere on the principal axis. There is no restriction. So restriction is it between the object position, that is between the optical center and focus. Image can be anywhere, but is going to be on the same side. Last five cases, image was forming on the other side. If you can see, object one side pair, image sub two side pair. But this is the only case where the position of the image is going to be on the same side as that of the object, right? So why is that happening? Because the light rays are not actually meeting in nature. We are producing them backward to meet at one point. So whenever you produce light ray, then the image form is going to be virtual and erect in nature. But here the object is very close to the lens. Since the object is very close, the image is going to be magnified in nature. Right? So these were the six cases. The last case was very different from the first five cases. Therefore, I've written them in a bold manner. Remember this case. Questions are asked in the exam based on the last case. Okay, because this is a different type of case. So only in this case is the convex lens forming virtual and erect image. Rest in all the cases it was forming real and inverted image. Okay, now you have to note, you have to take care of this, that where is the lens used. So lens is used in the, okay, so this is the last case that you have to remember thoroughly. It was different from the first five. Now, so where do we use this convex lens? We use this convex lens. I've discussed that it is used in magnifying glass to magnify the object, right? We use it in microscope also, and it is used in the spectacles to correct a defect of the eye. That defect you're going to learn in the next class, in the next lecture, basically next topic. So that defect is called as hypermetropia. So to correct this defect hypermetropia, we use spectacles, and in the spectacles we use convex lens. Okay. So as of now, just remember this term hypermetropia. When we are going to deal with chapter 11, then you will be clear with this hypermetropia. I hope the uses are clear. Moving ahead. Now let us see what type of the images were seen in concave lens. See, we have only two cases. Why two cases? So whenever we are dealing with a device which is diverging in nature. So I'm saying a device. Device means it can be a mirror or it can be a lens. Whenever they're diverging in nature, only two cases are seen. But converging के six cases होते हैं. So दो केस में तो एक general ले लेते हैं हम, which is the object is at infinity. So whenever the object is at infinity, we know that the image is going to be at focus only. And it is going to be highly diminished point size also. Right? Since it is diverging in nature, so it will likely to diverge after refraction. That means the light ray are not going to meet after refraction. So हमें उसको produce करना पड़ता है. So whenever we are producing, the image form would be virtual and erect. One thing. Second, this, how can you remember? So there are two ways to remember. हम ये याद करते हैं कि object जब भी infinity पे तो highly diminished image बनेगा ही बनेगा. So diminished image, two cases, concave lens, D for diminished, D for diverging in nature. So that way you can remember. See why I'm emphasizing on this, because students get a difficulty in remembering whether convex lens is diverging in nature or a concave lens is diverging in nature. So I repeat, concave lens is diverging in nature. Okay, and you can remember by this analogy, simple thing. Now second, if you keep the object anywhere between infinity and optical center. So object is anywhere, but the image is always going to be formed between optical center and focus. Again, it is going to be virtual and erect because it is diverging in nature. So if it is diverging, diminished image. Right? This is the way to remember. So concave lens, if you will see, it is always forming a virtual erect and a diminished image. What are the uses? So it is used to correct myopia. Alright, myopia again is a defect of vision which we are going to learn about in chapter 11. So to correct this defect of vision, myopia, we use spectacles. In that spectacles we use concave. For hypermetropia we use convex. For myopia we use concave. Okay. Also, you must have seen the spy holes of the door to see the visitor at our home, right? And the spy holes also we use lenses. So the lenses used are concave. Now, how to remember? See, whenever you see in that spy hole, wherever the object is, the range up to which it can see, you'll see that the object is always virtual and erect, and also it is always smaller. So that is only possible when we are using concave. It is not possible when you're using convex lens, right? So this is the connection to remember how where we use which type of lens.